2012 was an insane year in search. Linsanity took over the NBA, Gangnam Style broke the internet, and Disney bought Star Wars. Okay, that last one really sucked.
I saw your laser sword. Only Jedis carry that kind of weapon.
But 2012 was also the year that the internet started to get a lot worse. And it can all be traced back to when Google started tampering with its own search engine. Back then, Google released two major algorithmic updates, Panda in 2011 and Penguin in 2012. These updates try to clean up Google search results from content farms and $5 Fiverr freelancers, and instead reward high-quality, unbiased sites. You know, the unbiased sites like CNN or the New York Times.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. No, I know. CNN makes a. I know.
Was that supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
But with these updates, Google didn't start promoting high-quality sites at all. They started promoting websites that paid the most or the ones that agreed with their own Silicon Valley elite biases.
You use Google, you get really, like, I noticed that during the pandemic. There was a doctor that had a heart attack immediately after taking his second shot of, I think it was Moderna. And so I was like, what is that about? And this was like very early on. And I Googled it, I could not find it. I could not find the story. And then I went to DuckDuckGo immediately.
The crazy thing is, all this can be laid at the feet of one man, a man named Prabhakar Raghavan, the true Google CEO who's been working from the shadows this entire time. And when did Raghavan start working for Google? 2012. The minds did get something right. Raghavan was Google's head of ads in the 2010s, but was promoted to the head of Google Search during the Trump era, which we all of course remember as being really unbiased from a mainstream media and Google point of view.
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
In his short tenure, Raghavan has changed Google Search from a search engine that behaves like a database with your best interests in mind to an algorithm cluttered with ads, bots, and biased news that believes it knows your intentions and objectives better than you. Raghavan also introduced Google Search AI, which has been an abject failure.
Google recently made it so if you search anything, the top result is an AI answer. But the problem is sometimes the answers it gives are so incorrect it's not even funny. Like if you look up how many rocks should I eat each day, it'll say according to UC Berkeley, you should eat one small rock a day. But when you look into the actual source, it's an Onion article. And I get that Google's chomping at the bit to incorporate AI into everything they do, but honestly, I feel like this change is super premature and honestly just annoying.
Wikipedia defines a search engine as a, quote, software system that finds web pages that match a web search. Search engines are supposed to search the World Wide Web in a systematic way. This systematic way now gives your coworker different results when searching for the same thing. It directs Google searches to YouTube videos, a company owned by Google, and these videos have ads longer than the actual videos themselves. And according to a CNET study, it causes 30% of people to have to redo their initial Google search to something entirely different, or even visiting a different search engine. Google search has become an epic fail. This is all relevant because Google search is the basis of internet information, and what people see affects what they talk about in real life on a day-to-day basis. If Google doesn't shape up quick, the same way we have a multipolar social media with X, Rumble, and 4chan, we will see a search engine war. Google recognized this, saying a new reality is coming for Google search. And when it comes to competition, it isn't just DuckDuckGo. The biggest player challenging Google is a wild card that might surprise you. There are also several blockchain-based projects that are looking to disrupt Google and are prime territory to invest in right now. We'll get to those later in the video. Anyway, this is how one man destroyed Google search for each and every one of us. I'm Isaiah McCall of 99 Bitcoins, and this is Google search is dying, something new is coming. First, a quick word from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by DTX. DTX is like all other crypto exchanges, allowing you to trade hundreds and hundreds of cryptocurrencies. But the cool thing is, if you put $1 in, they will match it with 1000x leverage. Now, be careful, leverage isn't something you should play around with unless you're an experienced trader. But if this is you, definitely give it a check. More information in the description down below. Raghavan isn't CEO of Google, he just runs the place. That was the title of a Wired interview in 2021. Digging into Raghavan's past is like chasing a ghost. You only find one scathing article on the front page of Google that they themselves responded to as baseless speculation. Go check that article out, by the way. It's really good. What Google is actively trying to hide about their head of search, and this is probably going to get us demonetized, is that Raghavan has made a career of failing up after destroying companies. Do you know what Raghavan's old job was? The guy who runs Google search, what did he do before that? He was the head of search for Yahoo from 2005 through 2012. Where's Yahoo search today? It's pretty much dead. Raghavan ran it straight into the ground. Try to explain what Yahoo is to a Zoomer today. It's like trying to explain MySpace or a Boomer telling you about dial-up internet. When Raghavan landed at Yahoo, they were neck and neck with Google, holding a respectable 30.4% market share, and a few years later, Yahoo was at 13.4%, surpassed by Bing and MSN Search. The guy who The Guardian called Yahoo's secret weapon took Yahoo, a company once worth $125 billion in the dot-com bubble, and tanked it to $4.8 billion. Raghavan ended up replacing the previous head of Google search, Ben Gomes, who oversaw the golden age of search from 1999 to 2010 and is largely responsible for establishing the culture at Google. Out with the old and in with the new. And the new was predatory ad practices and biases to the search engine that make you want to pull your hair out.
Google wanted to increase the number of queries on Google, which doesn't mean Google is good. It means that more people are searching for more, which usually suggests that Google is not doing its job right.
Yeah, because if the more you have to search, the less good search results you're getting. You're trying 3 search results when previously you only needed 1.
Exactly. And the problem is, for the user there, is Google is worse, so you use it more, but that's a solution for Google because you're seeing more ads. And also, number of queries goes up.
Yeah.
Great. And this is really the rot economy writ large. It's when products have kind of escaped the pen of utility. It used to not be quite so obvious a con. It used to be, oh, this is a free product. We make so much more money. Like, we should be paying you as well as this being free. But we're all happy here because the product does what it's meant to.
Yeah.
Not really the case anymore.
That's author and Business Insider contributor Ed Zetron, by the way. He wrote that article that Google wants to censor from their front page. He also wrote in that same article, quote, under Raghavan, Google has become less reliable and is dominated by search engine optimized aggregators, advertising, and outright spam. It's because the people running the tech industry are no longer those that built it. Larry Page and Sergey Brin have left.
Vegeta, look at your head! Your halo is gone!
So, as Google's halo dims, it begs the question, what is the new Google search? For Gen Z, this is the new search engine. There are a lot of companies coming for the head of the king. And trust me, that crown is going to be very hard to take. As of January 2023, Bing accounted for 8.85% of the global search market, while Google has had an 84.69% share, according to Statista. And in 2022, Google's ad empire totaled an astounding $279.8 billion US dollars. A number so large that Congress tries to sue them almost every month for being a monopoly. Yet, the problem isn't where Google is, it's where they're going. And right now, social media is trying to take a giant slice of their ad revenue pie. The first big platform doing that is Reddit. It's hard to figure out how many people add Reddit to their Google searches, like best excuses for missing work, Reddit, or how much is a kidney worth, Reddit. But it's so many that Reddit's traffic surged 39% before the summer even started. That's a lot, considering most social media platforms like Facebook are shedding users monthly. That is why Reddit asks you to create an account before accessing content and is trying to keep users inside their own walled garden of who, what, where, and why. As Business Insider put it, Google's search results are so borked that people are desperate for a better search experience and narrowing their queries to Reddit archives. On Reddit, even if you get a cringe post or are subjected to the overwhelmingly left-wing bias, questions are answered by real people for the most part. And that is so much better than Google search. That said, for Gen Z, it's not Reddit or Google search they care about. It's TikTok and Instagram. The key here is visualization of your search results, and Raghavan himself said in a recent interview, and this guy doesn't do many interviews, he said, quote, almost 40% of young people, when they're looking for a place for lunch, they don't go to Google Maps or Google search. They go to TikTok or Instagram. While TikTok and Instagram have their problems, they give better, more idiosyncratic results than Google and more visual results than Reddit. The internet is increasingly a visual medium. Most journalists must create or join podcasts to even stay relevant. This is causing Google search to look more like a phone book, while the new search engines like Instagram and TikTok look like IMAX movies. Before we get into crypto, there's one more wild card ready to challenge Google's empire, and that's Apple. As it stands, Google CEO Sundar Pichai is a genius for how he's led Google. Maybe an evil genius, as his pre-Google days were at a consulting company, McKinsey & Company, who told banks to buy into the Jenga tower of mortgage-backed securities and advised Purdue Pharma how they could use OxyContin as a, quote, growth hack. But that's a documentary for another day. Pichai was the one who convinced other Google execs that their search engine needed a default bias, becoming the default search engine for Apple devices. He knew that once Google was the default, people would keep using it even if there were better options available. And that Apple partnership doesn't come cheap.
It came out that they pay Apple 36% of search ad revenue to use Safari, or to be the default search engine on Safari, which is a lot.
If you want to know the exact math here, Google pays $20 billion plus annually as a default search engine for Apple devices. It's more than the entire GDP of Jamaica. However, that partnership is in danger. Apple has reportedly been working on a better search engine that is a rival to Google since 2020. It would use Siri to power searches, and Google would lose default access to more than 1.5 billion active iPhone users if Apple actually went through with it. It's kind of like when Netflix lost The Office.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
While Google wouldn't drop dead if Apple took search more seriously, the playing field would be a lot less rigged. Maybe we could end all this fake news. We're just happy it's not solely Bing and DuckDuckGo taking on Google. TikTok, Reddit, and Apple are bringing up Google's monopoly as well, and we're grateful for that. It's a brave new world. And lastly, we can't end this video without talking about crypto. Nowadays, Google, Apple, and social media have become black holes meant to monetize your attention. As we always say here at 99 Bitcoins, data is the new oil. The data you sign over to big tech in those sketchy terms of agreement contracts allows advertisers to target you at an extremely granular level. They want you addicted.
Apple and its subsidiaries may also, if necessary, sew yet another person's mouth onto your butthole, making you a being that shares one gastral tract. I'm gonna click on decline.
As Banksy once said, they have access to the most sophisticated technology the world has ever had, and they bully you with it. This is where crypto comes in with the Web3 movement. Let's quickly explain this. Web 1 was the birth of the World Wide Web in the early 90s. 15 years later, the tech gods gave us Web 2. This is when social media apps, cloud technology, and mobile devices began to take over everything. Now we've arrived at Web 3, which instead of being a front-end revolution like Web 2, it's a revolution to the internet's back end. Simply put, Web 3 is a series of applications that use blockchain to decentralize the internet and allows the users to govern the protocols instead of developers. When you think Web 3, think crypto. Now, while Web 3, the term, has lost a lot of steam from the FTX fallout, the rise and fall of NFTs, and scam coins, the revolution is still very much alive. Web 3 won't kill Google and Facebook, but it will shift attention away. So the first project you should keep an eye on in this space is the Graph. The Graph is crypto Google if Google is created for programmers and developers. Instead of chronicling data from the web, the Graph chronicles data from all other cryptocurrencies. The same way Google is used to look up things like Elon Musk's status for his private jet, the Graph stores information and APIs for crypto projects like Aave, Uniswap, Ethereum, Synthetics, Maker, and thousands more. Another project like the Graph, and a severely underrated project by market cap, is the Ethereum-based Ocean protocol. Ocean is trying to build a data marketplace that solves the issue of big tech ripping off your data. Their goal is to connect the buyers and sellers of data and make the process more transparent. These can be individual humans, families, small companies, large companies, cities, and nations. Just imagine being a small business and you can be in the same playing field as Google when it comes to buying data. It could really be revolutionary. The last project we want to talk about is Polkadot. Polkadot is created by Ethereum co-founder Gavin Wood and is the crowning project supported by the Web3 Foundation, a nonprofit based out of Switzerland. Polkadot is a bet against blockchain maximalism. They don't want to be an Ethereum killer, but instead connect the most important blockchains together. Imagine Google pre-Raghavan, which only wanted to connect websites and people regardless of their social status, political beliefs, or ideology. That's Polkadot. We want to close by saying, personally, as someone who likes to search random facts and history, queries, it's very hard to get unbiased information nowadays. It's almost as if Google is brave new worlding the internet and filling it with so much garbage that you're forced to use whatever they approve of. Or maybe it's like 1984, where we've always been at war with the eternal enemy of Oceania.
Death to the eternal enemy of Oceania. Death! Death! Death!
The writing is on the wall. The 2020s will be the search engine wars, and Google may not be the victor that comes out on top. With powerful new players such as Apple, Elon's X the Everything app, Reddit, TikTok, and Web3 entering the fray, anyone's guess who will emerge victorious. Only time will tell. Thanks for watching, and good luck out there. Hey guys, we're trying to bring a lot more long-form, high-quality videos like this to the channel, so if you like these, please comment down below, like and subscribe. Let us know so we can keep these going and so my boss doesn't fire me. And if you want to check out more of the long form, high quality content we're trying to do, be sure to check out videos here, there. They're probably gonna pop up somewhere. So check those out. Have a good day.